Okay, we're going to talk about how to author the C112 photo album aggregation component. So in order to do that, we're going to start in our file structure here. So I'm in the authoring console of AEM and in the sites console. And I've navigated over to my portal. So my donor here is number 703-867-5309. So functionally, that's going to be my author, my donor for this example. And then I just wanted to show how this works here. So in order to use this photo album aggregation component, you first need to have 3 photo album pages built out. So I'm going to show you what one of those looks like. So in this example, and all of these pages, not even in this example, all of these pages will live under the Your Download section. So you'll create 3 portal content pages with photo album components, 1 photo album component on each, and those photo albums will all have pictures from one specific event. So for example, the Volunteer Leadership Summit dinner is its own page with 1 photo album on it with only images from the VLS dinner. And so I'm going to show you what that looks like here. This is going to be my photo album page. And so I've got a photo album detail component on this page, and I'm just pulling in all of the images that I have in a folder for the Volunteer Leadership Summit dinner. And this will just live underneath that Your Downloads node, that parent page right there. All right, so we have 3 of those pages built out. And now I'm going to go on to the Your Downloads page, and I've already opened it over here, and I'm going to add that album aggregation. So on my photo and documents page, my Your Downloads, or Your Library page is what it might be called for your donor, you're typically going to have a document download component first, and then you're going to add that photo album aggregation component. So you have the option to hide search again. We don't need to do that, so just so you can see it, but know that you can always hide it. And then you can show albums and photos, albums only or photos only. So if you add photos only, you'll just see thumbnails of all the photos instead of seeing an option to see all of the albums and link to the individual album pages. If you do albums only, you only see covers of each of the album pages that link to the album pages, like that Volunteer Leadership Summit page we just showed. And albums and photos will give you options to see both. So we'll use that so you can see both options. So the all photo path, I'm going to go into so now we're in the assets console. We're searching to the assets console with the path picker, going to the portal, and then I'm going to go to where I have all of my photos. So I have a folder here. It should be named after your donor. My donor, I'm using the name Michael Jordan. And I'm going to go ahead and select that because that is the asset folder that I have all of my images underneath. So that's my all photo path. And now I'm going to add the path to each of my albums. So I'm going to go again to my portal and to my donor, Mr. 703-867, Michael Jordan, and go to Your Downloads, and then we'll see those 3 album pages I mentioned earlier. And so I'm going to add each of these as an album. TNC, portal, downloads, and my last album on here. And you can drag and drop these if you want to change the order. That's not that important. You'll see the tiles in the order that you have them listed here. Now, if you want to hide the photo tiles, this will prevent photo tiles from displaying under thumbnails in the all photo view. So that's going to be, if you wanted to keep it clean and you don't want to show titles under your photos and you don't want to have that cluttering it up and you just want a pretty display with all just the images, you could click that. But I'm going to leave the titles on there so again you can see it. I called that titles. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and see what that looks like, and then we can do some adjustments if needed. So this is our photo album aggregation component, and there you can see the 3 pages that I linked to, and if I click on any of these, it'll bring me to that detailed page with just that photo album on it. And so back here with my aggregation component, you can see that I'm in folder view here, in album view, but then I can also click over to photo view, and then you will see all of the photos, and these are the titles it was referring to. So if you want to hide this, you click that checkbox that says hide photo titles. Now these are all example photos that I use, so they all have essentially the same title, but yours of course would not. And you might want to hide the titles if you find that you have long titles and they are overlapping the images, as you can see some of these are here. So that might be a good reason to actually hide those. And then you can click on any of these individual images and click through, kind of like a photo slideshow, and they sorted by date. You can have ascending or descending. I accidentally put a PDF in there with the photos, so that's what happened there. And make sure you don't link to a folder with PDFs. It should just be all photos. And that's essentially it for your photo album aggregation component, which will live on the photos and documents page, your downloads or your libraries page of your donor portal.